Today I am going to start the class 12th chemistry chapter, that is chemical kinetics. Before you listen to my class, it is better you sit with a notebook and a pen. Sit in a calm place where there is no disturbance. As much as possible, try to concentrate and listen carefully. Is it fine? Okay. Now, related to this chapter, chemical kinetics, in class 11th, you have studied thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium. Now, how this chapter chemical kinetics has link with thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium. Before that, what you have studied in thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium in class 11th? Do you remember anything? First, let us try to answer this question. Whenever a chemical reaction is carried out under a given reaction condition, several questions can be asked, like what happens, what is the product formed, whether the reaction will take place under the given condition of temperature and pressure, what is the favorable condition for the reaction to take place. If you have the knowledge of thermodynamics, then you can answer all these questions. Let us see how. Do you remember in thermodynamics you studied a topic called spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction? Under the topic spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction, you learned the concept of a free energy change, that is delta G. Based on the value of delta G, you were predicting the feasibility of the reaction, that is whether the given reaction is spontaneous or not, right? And also you studied that this delta G is related to delta H and delta S by the relation delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, where delta G is the free energy change, delta H is the enthalpy change, and delta S is the entropy change. If for any reaction, if this delta G is negative, if a reaction proceeds with decrease in the free energy change, then the reaction is feasible, it is spontaneous, it will take place by itself. If delta G is positive, then the reaction is non-spontaneous, that is the reaction is not feasible. So by studying thermodynamics, you will be able to predict whether the chemical reaction will take place or not, whether it is feasible or not. Next, once the reaction takes place, next question is in what direction it will take place, whether the reaction is reversible or unidirectional. For example, A plus B gives some product C plus D. If delta G is negative for this reaction, then this reaction will take place. If this reaction takes place, then in which direction it will take place, whether it is reversible or unidirectional. Second, if this reaction takes place, then to what extent it will take place, that is how much reactant is converted to product. These questions are addressed by the study of chemical equilibrium. In chemical equilibrium, you learned the concept of equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant K. If you know how to calculate the value of K for a given reaction which is at equilibrium, then you can predict to what extent the reaction will take place. That is, how much reactant is converted to product. If for a given reaction, if K is large, if the value of K is large, then the reaction is product favorable. That is, the product formed will be more stable. If for a reaction, if K is small, then the reaction is reactant favorable and the reactants will be more stable. So by studying chemical equilibrium, you will be able to predict to what extent the chemical reaction will take place. That is decided with the help of the equilibrium constant. It is decided based on the value of equilibrium constant. Now let us take an example where 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 mole of hydrogen to give 2 moles of ammonia. Now whether this reaction is feasible or not, that is decided based on the value of delta G. So for this reaction delta G is negative, therefore this reaction is feasible. Now to what extent this reaction will take place? For that you must calculate the value of K. For this reaction the value of K is found to be very small. So what does it mean? It means that only a small percentage of reactant is converted to product, that is a very small amount of ammonia is formed. Now this ammonia is used in the manufacture of urea. You know urea is a fertilizer. Let us assume that in India every year we need to manufacture 5 million tons of urea. We need 5 million tons of urea every year to meet the demands of farmers. To manufacture 5 million tons of urea, you just think how much ammonia need to be manufactured every year. Of course, large amount, right? But from the value of K, you know that the formation of ammonia is very less. The yield of ammonia is very less. If you are not able to manufacture a high yield of ammonia, then you will be not able to manufacture 5 million tons of urea every year. Then how to maximize the yield of ammonia? How to increase the yield of ammonia? So when this question arises, then we will realize that the knowledge that we have about a chemical reaction, that is about thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium, is not enough. If we just know to predict whether the reaction will take place or not, and just know to predict to what extent the reaction will take place, is not enough. It is very important to know the rate of the reaction, that is the speed of the reaction, how fast or how slow the reaction proceeds, and also the factors affecting the speed of the reaction. Once if we know that the given reaction is slow or fast, and also if we know the factors affecting the rate of that reaction, we can alter the reaction conditions and we can change its rate. If the reaction is slow, if you want to make it fast, change the reaction conditions so that the reaction will become fast. So it is very important to know the rate of a chemical reaction. So by studying thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium, you will be just able to predict whether the reaction will take place or not, what is a favorable condition for a reaction to take place, and to what extent the reaction will take place. But thermodynamics fails to explain the kinetics of the reaction, that is how fast or slow the reaction will take place. Remember, this is the limitation of thermodynamics and it will be asked for competitive exams. In order to fulfill the limitation of thermodynamics, a new branch of chemistry was developed, that is chemical kinetics. So chemical kinetics is that branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the rate of the reaction, factors affecting the rate, and mechanism of the reaction. Once again I will repeat, listen carefully. Chemical kinetics is that branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the rate of the reaction, factors affecting the rate, and the mechanism of the reaction. Okay, and remember, chemical kinetics helps us to predict how fast or slow the reaction proceeds, but it will not tell us anything about whether the reaction will take place or not. Is this point is clear? Please try to keep all this point in your mind because they are very important for competitive exams. Next, Most of the chemical reactions are spontaneous and unidirectional. Based on the rate of the reaction, chemical reactions are classified into three types. First one, very fast reaction. Very fast reaction. Some of the reactions are very fast. They take only 10 to the power minus 16 to 10 to the power minus 14 second to occur. And it is very difficult to determine the rate of such extremely rapid reactions. Some special techniques are needed to study the rate of such reactions. For example, precipitation reaction, neutralization reaction, combustion of fuel, explosion reaction, and some of the biochemical reactions like photosynthesis. Second type of reaction is very slow reaction. Very slow reaction. Some of the reactions are very slow, and even the rate of such reactions cannot be determined. And anyhow, in this unit we are not interested in the study of very fast and very slow reaction, because the rate of these type of reactions cannot be determined easily or cannot be determined by any methods. Some special techniques are required. So some of the very slow reactions like formation of coal, rusting of iron, setting and hardening of cement, concretes, etc. Then in this unit, what type of reactions we will study? So there is a third variety of reaction which lies between the extremities of these two type of reaction, that is the reactions which proceeds with measurable and moderate speed. Reaction with moderate speed. Reaction with moderate speed. So the reactions which proceeds at a moderate and measurable speed. In this unit we will discuss only this type of reactions, because we can calculate the rate of such reactions, and there are many methods and techniques to determine the rate of such reactions. Is this point clear to you? So this is just an introduction class related to chemical kinetics. In the next class we will study a very important concept related to chemical kinetics, that is the rate of a reaction. Okay, in the next class we will study about the rate of the reaction. Till then, take care. Love you all.